Charles Spurgeon describes the wife and his support for the husband this way. It's a long quote, but it's a wonderful quote. Let's read. She delights in her husband, in his person, his character, his affection. To her, he is not only the chief and foremost of mankind, but in her eyes, he is all in all. Wow. Her heart's love belongs to him, and to him only. He is her little world, her paradise, her choice treasure. She is glad to sink her individuality in his. She seeks no renown for herself. Her honor is reflected upon her, and she rejoices in it. She will defend his name with her dying breath. Safe enough is where she can speak of him. His smiling gratitude is all the reward she seeks. Even in her dress, she thinks of him and considers nothing beautiful which is distasteful to him. And they ask, ganda ba? Di masyado. Magpapalit. And really, that's true. He has many objects in life, some of which she does not quite understand, but she believes in them all, and anything she can do to promote them, she delights to perform. Such a wife, as a true spouse, realizes the model marriage relation and sets forth what our oneness with the Lord ought to be. Yung kaligayahan po niya. That's what marriage really is all about. You see, that's very important because that's what your children see. That's the kind of perspective that they will apply in their life as they go to school, as they relate with friends. And that's the reason why it also translates to society. Because these children will grow up. And what the parents passed on to their children, the relationship that they have, the way they treat each other, for better or worse, is what their children will inherit. And the last thing I'd like to share is the husband's role. The husband sacrifices. Ephesians chapter 5, from the Message again, it says, husbands, go all out in your love for your wives. All out. Exactly as Christ did for the church. A love marked by giving, not getting. What a beautiful balance. It is the yin and the yang. It is water and fire, the moon and the sun. It is night and day. They complement each other. That's why it's so easy to support and understand a husband who loves me so much. And of course, it's so easy to love a wife who understands and supports me. That's a beautiful teamwork there, right there. Leo Tolstoy, famous Russian novelist, said this, everything that I understand, I only understand because I love. I'll end with telling a story of a man I really love studying. His name is Robertson McQuilkin. Robert McQuilkin was the third president of Columbia International University, a Christian university. And he resigned his post to take care of his wife, Muriel, that was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. They've been married for more than 40 years, I think 42 years when they found out. So 4 decades at least. He was noticing some things with her. She was beginning to miss appointments, forget some things, and he was already suspecting it. Finally, they had this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to visit London together and go to the famous Tate Gallery. In the Tate Gallery, you have the most number of paintings by the artist Joseph Turner, the biggest collection. And Joseph Turner was Muriel's favorite artist because she was an artist herself, broadcaster, very smart woman. When they went to the museum, he was so excited to look at the expression in her face, to see finally what they would just look at in pictures and books and magazines. Finally, the real thing, Turner's paintings. But when she looked at it, she just walked past through it. In fact, she walked past everything Turner painted. And that's when he realized there's something wrong. She forgot all about her favorite artwork. And so her condition deteriorated to the point that whenever he would leave the house, she would follow and go to the university, would walk to the university and go to him. Until it became very, very difficult. He had to make a decision. Whether to institutionalize his wife or to resign and take care of his wife 24/7. And so what he did, he resigned. His friends would tell him, why not just why not just put her in a home? But this is what he said. Let's read. Would Muriel become accustomed to the new environment quickly? Would anyone love her at all, let alone love her as I do? I have often seen the empty, listless faces of those lined up in wheelchairs along the corridors of such places, waiting for the fleeting visit of some loved one. And so he decided to not put Muriel in a home, but to take care of her full time. As the years went by, she could only speak words, often made little sense, but there was one sentence she could say, and she said it often. 3 words. I love you. Imagine your wife has Alzheimer's. She could not even speak whole sentences and some gibberish. But she could speak one sentence, and she would say it often to him. I love you. I'll read. Robert thought much about the part of the wedding vow that says, to love and honor in sickness and in health. But not only has he thought about it, he's lived it. And so he resigned his presidency when he was not yet even 60 years old. And the friends would say, but she doesn't even know you anymore. He would reply, yes, but I know her. And Robertson tried to explain his decision to his supporters and critics. He admitted that his wife didn't know who he was, but that wasn't the point. The really important thing was that he still knew who she was, and that he saw in her the same lovely woman he had married those many years ago. He said, and I promise to be there until death do us part. There are times when they would travel, and the stewardesses in the airplanes would find it funny because whenever Muriel would go to the restroom, he would go inside with her. Because he said, if she locks herself accidentally, she wouldn't know how to open it and she will panic. So he would go in that cramped space with her. One time he was in the airport and their flight got delayed. And he was sitting there in the waiting area with Muriel. And she kept on asking him, "Where are we going?" Then after 2 minutes, "Where are we going?" And then she would wander off. He would always walk fast. He would jog right behind her, go back again, and then ask, "Where are we going?" And he would explain. And as he was doing this, he saw, or at the back of his ear, he heard a woman mutter something. He looked at the woman, very attractive, executive type woman, working on her laptop. Since there was no one there, he asked her, "Excuse me, what did you say?" And she said, "Oh, I just said, will I ever find a man who will love me like that? Will I ever find a man who will love me like that?" Robertson McQuilkin said this, "I have been startled by the response to the announcement of my resignation. Husbands and wives renewing marriage vows. Pastors telling the story to their people. It was a mystery to me until a distinguished oncologist who lives constantly with dying people told me this." We have a quote. "Almost all women stand by their men. Very few men stand by their women." Almost all women stand by their men. Very few men stand by their women. You see, it really shows us a beautiful picture of how Christ loves the church.
Thank you for watching our video. Make sure you check out the description box below for all of our discussion questions. And make sure to like, subscribe, and share all of our videos on our channel with your family and friends. Thank you again for watching.